Hello and welcome to the Beyond the Hustle podcast. My name is Lydia and I'm a mindset and business coach for high-achieving entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I share insights into how you can create a life of freedom, happiness, and personal fulfillment while increasing financial success way beyond what you have achieved with hustle alone so far. Plus, every other week, I interview inspiring and out-of-the-box thinking entrepreneurs. Have fun and enjoy. Welcome to today's podcast episode where I interview the amazing and lovely Desirée Benke. Desirée is a spiritual business coach and manifestation queen. And actually, a long time ago, we worked together. It is so amazing to see this powerful woman now today after many years. And I'm very excited to have you on the podcast today and very excited about the goal you're going to share with our audience. So welcome to the show, Desirée.
Thanks a lot, Lydia.
And my first question, as per usual, is that you give just a little bit of background. Who are you? What do you do? And how did you end up there, basically? So what's your story?
Yes. So my name is Desirée Benke. I'm 28 years old and I grew up in Germany, in the south of Germany. I had a loving family and my childhood was beautiful. Also, the other parts of my life went really, really good. I studied industrial engineering. I figured out that personal development is something that is interesting. And my whole life, I did it already because I was always helping children with the gymnastics. I always kind of coached other people. And with this background, I figured out that money mindset is one part that is one of my passions. And I went to a personal development seminar where other women sit in front of me and I just talked about how I deal with my finances, how I think about money and what I think about life and how I deal with my life and how happy I am, how easy it is and how I manifest everything just by thinking, okay, I want this. I'm happy to get it. And then I went on with my life and then I get it. So that's what I talked about. And for me, it was quite normal to say all this stuff because it's my life. And the women that sat in front of me, which were quite a lot older, they were 30, 40 years older, they were astonished, their mouths open, their eyes are really wide, like, wow, what are you talking about? At this time I was 24, so you're a quite young lady and you have such a big wisdom. Okay, you need to share this. Please share it. And that's when in November 2017, my podcast started. And then, everything happens and fell in place. And now, I did my journey. I'm on my journey and I'm creating a really impactful big business in the coaching world and where I help spiritual entrepreneurs that are most of the time also multi-passionate, also highly sensitive, as I am the same, and also ambitious. I help those women to get their mind clear, to give themselves the permission to do it their own way, and to up-level their energy so they manifest faster, easier, and happier.
Oh, beautiful. You already touched on the topic, the very important topic of money mindset, obviously. And this was basically your way forward, and you started your podcast, and it's still a big part of what you do in your daily business life, so to say, what you teach people, what you coach people on. So could you give us perhaps 2 or 3 very important, or in your eyes, very important mindset shifts around money? Where do you see people are and what is the shift to get, for example, to the place where you are?
Yes. So first and foremost, for everything that you want to get and create in your life, It doesn't matter if it's money, it's love, it's relationships, it's clients. It doesn't matter what it is. You need to be committed and give yourself the permission. Because many people, like most of the time women, they have anxiety about being successful. It sounds crazy, but when you really face this success that you're craving and you really think about, okay, am I really in the place where I want this? Then there are most of the time fears coming up. And that's why you really need to face those fears and give yourself the permission to be successful, to have money, to get money. And when you have the pattern, for example, it shows up that you as an entrepreneur have a lot of clients, you get money, but you spend it right away. That's one of the patterns. The underlying thing is that you don't give yourself the permission to have money. Also, I grew up in the south of Germany. For me, I see that here in the Swabian part, there is this mentality of not spending money. So we are really good savers, like really, really good savers. Yeah, that's good. But on the other hand,
it's in German. Sorry to interrupt you. It's in German. This schaffe Häusle baue, right? Like, and that means like work and bau your little house. But like, yeah, like really work hard and save what you have. So that's the mentality you're speaking about for all the Germans who are listening.
So here, in my part of Germany, it's quite common that when you turn 18, so when you grew up, you have saving funds that are higher than anyone else. Like me, I had 6 or 7 bank accounts because I just have this money and my parents, they saved it. My grandparents, like, that's awesome. But when you are an entrepreneur, you need to invest. So that's one of the mindset shifts you need to make when you have this pattern of, okay, I'm always saving money, saving, and not going further, not investing, not growing your business, because the business is where you turn your money. And money is, I think it's feminine. So it wants to be in flow. And this money goddess, when you connect to her, she always says, like, she's a gorgeous and she's beautiful and she's loving. So that means you need to give her the flow. Also, when you have the otherwise pattern on the opposite, for example, only spending, only saving, or not doing anything, like not dealing with it. So the first thing I would say, make clear what you want and give yourself the permission.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing I would say is have a look at your history with money. And not only your story, but also your parents' story. Many of the people that I coach, they have ancestors they have a story with immigration or with war. So for sure, there are some patterns that are coming up when you are looking at your money mindset. That's the other thing. So look at the backstory, and then you can break the patterns, and then you can get easier and happier with money. And the third thing I would say is, well, there are many things, so I need to
course
one. Build a loving relationship with money. I'm looking at my money glass here. I have a glass where I put my money in, like the money that universe delivers me when I'm on a walk. Normally I have a good idea, and then there is a penny, a cent, some money lying on the floor. So the universe talks to me in money. And when I look at this jar, I think it's important to really get in touch with money and get this loving relationship. It's not evil. It's not something that you need to force or something you need to push. You don't have to have this tension in your relationship with money. Money just is. And you are in charge how you want the relationship to be. So when you want to have a a loving relationship, and then do it, like change it or enhance it, and then you will soon, like immediately, you will feel a shift. You will feel difference in your body, in your mindset. You will immediately see other results because it's an energetic thing. So get in touch with money as it is. It's neutral, and it's always there. If you think you don't have enough, make clear you have enough, and try to grasp all the money that is on earth. That's just unbelievable. So it's enough money to have here, and it's enough for everyone. You just have to give the permission. You have to clear the blocks that are there to get this loving relationship. And then when you have a loving relationship and you are full of love and abundance, for sure, everyone wants to come to you, as well as money wants to come to you.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Especially this like loving relationship with money, because of course, like why should someone want to stay with you if you're putting all the lack and all the doubts and all the like, I'm not sure if you're going to stay here. Like, like if you have an anxious attachment style with money, yeah, of course, money is going to avoid you. These are the two opposites, so to say. So that's a really good reminder of all the 3 points you said. Also this first one, especially since you work with lots of women who have to step into this part of first knowing what they desire and then having that commitment piece. And I want to ask a question about that in a second. And this permission piece to really step into a place where you say, yes, I give myself permission to have that. And perhaps let's start there. Why do you think is it such a specifically probably female issue to not give yourself permission to have money? Like, what do you think? Where does it come from? Because there are so many male billionaires out there or millionaires, but women, we are just starting. Why do you think that is?
Wow, good question. I might channel the answer. As I'm also a medium, so I might channel the answer and just ask the guides, hey, please give us the answer, because my human mind can't grasp it. It's just, I don't understand this. And okay. So the information that I get, and actually it's also something I experienced during working with my clients, in our history, a lot of female humans and female souls that were in the Middle Ages actively working with spirits, with energetics, and with herbs and everything, that were called witches. And we have right now this new framing of we are the witches, the ancestors of the witches that have not been burned. So we are the daughters of the witches that have not been burned. And when I work with the women that are really, really aspiring and really ambitious with their careers, with their business, we come to a point where we need to look further back. In this part of our history of humankind, we have depressed the feminine part, and then the male traits were more on top. The female traits were in the household. They were kind of put it down, and they dimmed their light. And now we are the ones who are healing this trauma, we can say. And we are the ones who are building a new economy, which doesn't mean that we need to have a matriarchy. We just want to be on the same level, and we will be on the same level. But we create a completely new world. It's not comparable to anything that we had, because there is no difference in face of what we can achieve between female and male. For sure, I say there is a difference of the behavior, of the traits, of the mindset, of the energy as well. So for us, it's important to strengthen the female within the female people and also strengthen the male, but not the wounded male part. We don't have wounded masculinity here anymore. We are healing both parts, and then it can come together. And that's why I also come to a point when I work with my ladies a little longer, that we also talk about relationships, like how you can attract the perfect husband, the perfect man for you. Like me, I attracted, like I say, I'm a queen, and I attracted my king. And I don't know if you can feel it, but when you see yourself, and when I talk to you as, hello, how are you, queen? Hello, king, I see you. That's such a difference in how we honor the other person.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And when you said the the sentence of, we have been the daughters of the witches that have not been burned, I really got goosebumps, because it is so true. It is so true. And it's definitely one of the main reasons, like, that this part now can come into healing. The same as you said with healing the masculine, or like the wounded masculine, and have something totally new that we never ever had here on the planet. And with that, women can come into wealth, like into massive wealth as well, and share this and bring like new generations of wealth and beauty and happiness and amazing relationships that you also touched onto into the world. So this is so powerful. And perhaps, and this is probably also why the permission part is so important, because we haven't been like raised with this, because as you said, women were in the house. We were dealing, like our ancestors, with stuff in the house. We were not in the open dealing with the big finances, so to say. So there needs to really be a shift into a very new consciousness in women. And this is probably also why many people struggle with it, because of this. It's something very new. So they step into uncertainty and into not knowing, and have to say yes to that when you help them with that.
And that can show up when you have a look at your business and at your industry, and then you see men that are showing up with their prices. They are celebrating every new client. They are celebrating their cash flows and their highest month and all this. And I think there is a feminine way to also do this. I think we also should celebrate, but in our own way. We should celebrate publicly that we are helping people. And most of the time I experience that the women that are working as light workers, as I call them, they are giving so much, sometimes more than a man, and they are dimming their light. And that needs to stop. And that's why I say, hey, light up the world. Time to shine.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. And that's not something we need to force, and not a hard way. It's not something we do with hustling. It's the way, the feminine way. It's the way of, knowing intuitively when to get in this feminine energy, and also when it's part to sit down and just have your to-do list and do all the stuff. So there needs to be this yin and yang, this connection of both ways. And when you struggle with pricing, for example, that's also give yourself the permission to say, hey, I am a high performance coach. I am delivering so much value. I am valuable, and I have the permission. I give myself the permission to step up to help people big way.
That's beautiful, Desirée. And you already touched on that. I want to speak a bit more about the hustle place, the hustle part, obviously, since this is also the topic or the name of the podcast. But first, go a little bit back to the topic of commitment that you said, I think, as point number 2 like first commitment and then permission. So can you elaborate a little bit more on the commitment piece? What does commitment mean for you? Perhaps in a feminine way, but what does commitment in life, in business mean for you?
Yeah, commitment is the art of saying something or deciding and then doing what you decided and doing what you said. So what comes with this is the clear definition and the decision. You need to decide what you want. And for this, you need to go inward. You need to have a talk with yourself, maybe go in nature in best way during your feminine cycle when you are in the winter phase. As I also have a look and coach with the moon and with the feminine cycle. So it's the best time to do it in your inner winter. And then you figure out what are your inner desires in every part in your life. And then you decide from inside out, you have this clear decision. And then when it's from inside out, when it's authentic, you are easily committed to it because no one else can give you a goal. You are always setting your goals for yourself. You are saying, I want this. And then for sure, you need to do something to also get it. You need to use the masculinity to do something, but also lay in this feminine flow. That's what I see and what I understand about commitment. Yeah, to decide from your heart and then do what you decided and do what you said.
Basically stay true to yourself, right? You make the decision and then you follow through on your own decision, not a decision for others, but your very own true, deep desire.
In that point, there are coming so many mindfucks. Like, that's horrible what can come up with this.
Yeah, share a bit with us, because I think you also went through that when I remember. Yeah. So share a little bit from your journey.
Okay, so, I am a woman that has big visions, like really big visions. For now, I see they are big, but when we do a talk in 15 years, I say, that was peanuts. So right now they are big. My process is I go inside, then I say, wow, I'm really motivated, energetic, and I want to do this, and I will do it, and I'm really committed to do it, and I write a to-do list. I write every mindset that I need to, like from this quantum manifestation part. I go in the future, then I write and think about what does this person that I will be think right now. So that's what I do, quantum manifestation. And then, I do. And then time happens. And then maybe there is not so directly a message from the universe. And then doubts come in. And when the doubts come in, you have two ways to go. You have the one way that says, okay, then I stop. I focus on the doubts. Or I say, hey, thank you that you are here, that you are reminding me that I'm in a process. And you can shift and say, now I'm focusing again, even more on my goal, even more on my way. And to be honest, I'm struggling with it all the time. Like every new level has a new devil, as we say. It can be a small thing, like, do I use a Calendly link or you can book me link? Like, it's just,
It's so funny. Yeah, it's so true.
So little, but also it can be big in business. Which marketing strategy do I use? Which pricing do I use? Is it okay for this hustling part? Is it okay to go? I do Bogenschießen. It's called archery in English. So that's my new sport. And when I go there, it's me time. And when I have this bow and this arrow in my hand, I'm focusing on the bow and the arrow, and I'm not doing anything else. But that's what I need to say and stick to, because that's my time. And that's something I need to give the permission myself. For sure, I had this part in me that said, okay, no, Desirée, you're building a big business. You have big goals. You are visionary. You have potential in yourself. You know, you are only using 2% of your potential. That's not something I accept for myself. So this hustling part was really loud. And that's why I need to come back to my own way, to myself. And then I can act from this. And I put these doubts away, not carrying under, but I'm just looking at them and say, hey, I'm seeing you. Thank you for showing up. Now I'm deciding my own way. And my way is the easy way. The easy way. I think you gave me the picture of the bow and the arrow when we coached 3 years ago, when you decide on a goal and we have this whole motivation, then we shoot, and during the flight on the arrow, we can't do anything. We just have to surrender and let this arrow flow, and then it hits the target. What needs to be is that you have the right direction. And when you are a little bit 2-3 centimeters on the right while shooting, then it doesn't match. It doesn't
hit the target, basically.
So you need to be really clear in your definition. And that's why I say it needs to come from yourself. And then you shoot and it hits. Yeah. You get better with it. So it's a way.
Yeah, it's practicing like everything. It is practicing and people don't get it. Okay, let's go to the hustle part first. But I would then also love to hear more about this manifestation process and the doubts creeping in and all of that. You as a manifestation queen. So that would be lovely to hear your thoughts on that, because it's so true. It's the intention and then it really is the practice. You will get better. Like the first time I used an arrow and a bow, oh my goodness, that was embarrassing. Like not really, it was lots of fun, but and the second time was a bit better, the third time also a bit better. And if I kept going, in 1 year, I don't know what would happen. So with your mind, people don't understand that you also practice with your mind. People always think it's just sports that you practice and all the rest. No, you don't have to practice. That just needs to work, so to say. But that in a second. First, I wanted to speak more about the hustle part. What was your path to shift from this hustle part and not enough me time into, wow, now I can work when I want, but also I just step into the flow. I just step into ease and use that power. So what shifted and what can you tell people who are still stuck in the hustle world?
Well, I told you I studied industrial engineering. So it's a course where I had university from morning till evening, nonstop, and I loved it. However, I was trained to work. I was trained to have Excel sheets, to have clear competition as well. I also did gymnastics where I had a lot of competition. So I was really the hustler. And with my ambition, I didn't understand when, like, for example, you said, oh, you can have ease. It's fun. Like, yeah, I had fun, but I had fun while creating, while working. So I always said, I'm a worker and I love what I do. And I put more on my plate and more on my plate and more on my plate. And then what happened was I didn't manage to follow up everything. And while getting more into the feminine energy and leaning more in this feminine flow, I understood that when I don't honor my femininity, half of myself I cut out of my life because I was not the person that could cry. I was not the person that could cuddle. I didn't know what love really was. I didn't felt anything. Like, sure, I said I felt something, but I didn't. And now my life just up-leveled because I understood and I tried how it is to be feminine, to be more emotional. And for sure, that's a hard way to say, because when you're not used to something and when you're not used to have emotions that deeply and that instantly, and when you are highly sensitive, as you are as well, Lydia, so you pick up emotions from others as well, it can be overwhelming. And that was what happened for me. I had one moment in this situation. I was in a supermarket and during a course for personal development where I was really a lot in my processes. And when I was in the supermarket, all the price tags, they were orange, like this really orange that says, hey, I'm super sale. Hey, look at me. I looked at them and I just needed to buy butter or something, like one thing. But it was horrible for me to walk through this supermarket because all the price tags, all these orange things that are bulbing in my field are getting in my head, and I was overwhelmed with emotions. And I felt myself like, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And then I came home. It was just 2-3 minute walk. And then I was there and I needed to lay on the floor and do nothing because my whole system kind of collapsed like this. And I had so many ideas, inspirations, feelings, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I laid down. I watched children TV. So I had something to hear and some happy energy, some positivity. And then it got better. And that was the point when I said, okay, something is not right here. I need to correct it. And I need to decide how I want my life. Because my family, they had burnout. I have people in my family that already had it. So I'm quite aware of this topic. And that's why I really don't want this. In the first hand, it's a trying out. It's a test, an experiment, and then you find out if it's for you or not. But we can say you will find out it's awesome. And what I had in my head that perceived me from doing it earlier was the thinking, well, when I am not working that much, but getting more money, as we can do as entrepreneurs, it's easy. Like when you have an online course like me, I do have a group with 10 people. Each one is paying €1,000, for example. Then you have 10,000 euros for working 1 hour a week. So that's how it is.
It's easy.
How it goes. That's easy. But for me, the idea was clear, but I didn't know why I would do it, why I would want to have this. And then I said to myself, okay, what would I do with the free time? Because I had the limiting belief, and here it comes to your question. I had the limiting belief when I don't work much, my life gets boring.
Big one.
And that was the biggest mindset shift I needed to make, to say now, okay, it's okay to just lie there. And also, I had this need for attention. So I had this from my family, like how I grew up. And when I shifted this belief, I also said, okay, I am enough when I am happy, when I am having fun. And I don't need any people to be with me to show, for example, in Instagram, that I am now having fun. Sure, I do, because the people that I coach are desiring what lifestyle I have. And that's why I also share when I'm traveling, when I'm doing my sports, when I'm, just enjoying my life the way I do it, because that's also important to know. When you don't have work to do, it doesn't mean that you are laying in the bed and doing nothing. Like you're not a rock. You are a living, breathing being that wants to have fun in their life. And that means you will always come up with ideas. And when you really have a look at your vision board or at your bucket list, you will figure out that you need a lot of time to have all these experiences, and that you want to have money for this. And that's why it's okay, it's more than okay, to build a business that supports this and also supports other people, because I'm sure you're not building a business because you want the business. It's a higher purpose that has it.
Yeah. It's really great that you mentioned this piece about, oh gosh, I'm going to be bored, because this is one of the big, one of them, it's not the only one of the big ones that I also encounter with like very hustly people, and the validation attention piece. Like these are two big ones for high achievers, overachievers, that keep them from moving more like beyond the hustle and into ease, for example, and into having more free time. And what you said, like as a solution, is really so important. Having a big why, a big purpose, like why am I here on earth? What do I want to be of change, or what do I want to impact here? And also have lots of desires. Like if you only have one goal, okay, it's going to be delivered, and then there is nothing in your pipeline. So the more desires and goals you have, the more there is to fill your life, so to say. So it's not about running away from this idea, oh my goodness, I'm going to be bored, and instead figuring out, okay, so what else is there to experience? So I love that you brought up these two things. Thank you.
You're welcome. And what you said, when you achieve a goal, it doesn't mean that you're finished. I had once a client that was preventing herself of achieving her goal. It was just like, it was one sale she needed to make. And then I asked her, hey, why are you doing this? I see the pattern in you and you are preventing it. Why? Then we get into coaching. I also use meditation and light language and some spiritual techniques. And we figured out she was fearing to achieve the goal because she had the idea, then her life ends. Then she's over because she has nothing to do more here. But you are here on earth to experience yourself, to have fun. And that's the new world we are talking about. To have fun, to be loving, to be loved, to enjoy all the wonderful places in this world, and to create a new one.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm on your page there. And because you mentioned it right now, and I guess two things not everyone might be aware of here. First, you spoke about the winter. Can you elaborate a little bit more about the winter in the cycle, and also about light language? These are the two things not everyone might know.
So maybe we start with the light language, because it was the last thing we talked about. Light language is a spiritual tool, I say. It's a language that some people are able to speak, some people are able to write, and it comes from different stars. And so there are 3 light languages that we know about, 3 different dialects, we can say. The purpose of it is that when you hear this language, your mind directly gets off. It's switched off, because it's nothing you understand with your mind. It's something that goes directly in your heart. So light language is the most powerful language, the highest energy that we have and can use here on Earth. And it's something that I use in my activations when it comes to activating new portals, activating new levels, activating love. For example, I have this big vision that I'm standing in front, like on a stage, and around me are 80,000 people, like really a big amount of people, like many people. And I'm giving this meditation where we go in the visualization of their next level me. And then in the end, I speak the light language to open up their heart. And a big wave of love flows like water through all the people. That's my big vision. And that's how I use light language. So if you want, I can talk a little bit in light language.
Yeah, do that. Give the audience an idea about that.
Yeah. So, a disclaimer: when you feel emotions in your body, just feel it, breathe, and enjoy. Arukanyak alayakanas kantanyak kurak anayak sakitan warakenayak tarakanas kantulai kikish katkutarakanas katush kush ash karakis kanwa kanalai kikas kutare kina karakana skitui kin aruk enyak kas kanturakai arukanai en kurakas kanya kalai arukanai kana karukanai kanas kintau enukara kanai kintau alukai na tukana tik atuk ek sai.
That was lovely. Would it be interesting if not everyone, but the people who listened, if later on you share in the different channels where we share the podcast, if you can share your experience and also what it did to you and how you felt. Like, for example, for me, it was really like a very activating on my whole body, like a very tingly sensation over my whole body, like goosebumps, but not only on the arms, but over my whole body. So that would be interesting to really hear from you, like from everyone who wants to share with us how it felt to you, what your experience was. And thank you, Desirée.
Welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so the feminine cycle, like men also have a cycle. Maybe you experience that as well. Depends also on your astrology. For example, my king is more sensitive to the moon, and we are connected in our cycles. That's really interesting, but that's another topic. So, and the feminine cycle is also most of the time connected to the moon. So you can see, to say in easy words, we have this full blooming, full moon phase where we say, yes, I am shining, I am outside, I'm standing there and look at me. I want everything, like I'm the queen, I'm the one. Yes, that's the stage where you have this ovulation, where you are really open to be seen. And that's when, for example, in business, I do my workshops. I start my workshops most of the time in that phase. And for example, when there is the other part, like the new moon, then you have the menstruation, and then you are more in yourself. You're more connected to your inner core. You are maybe, I don't hope that you have cramps, period cramps. If you have, you should really talk to me, because that's not normal. And when you have your period, you should go inside. You should go in yourself. And what I do is, in business, I'm more reflecting. I'm using this time to deciding new things, like, as we say, the new moon as well is something we say, okay, we are setting the seeds for the new, we are starting new. And that's how you can use your menstrual cycle to support your business. For example, when you want to pick on a price or invest something and you're not sure about doing it, then you can go inward in this winter phase where we say it's winter because we are more inside. We are having our period. So that's the winter. And on the other side, we have the summer, the ovulation, the showing up. That's how I do it. And that's how my clients are doing it, because I found out that it's the most natural way how feminine businesses are built.
So you mean, like, because you said if you're not sure about pricing, then use the winter period to let the answer come intuitively from the inside, so to say.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love also working with the cycle, and what you now said, like to also work with your partner and see how the cycles there align. This is also like, we can always take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting. And what I wanted to know also is, since you call yourself the manifestation queen, and we spoke a little bit about, you set an intention and then you let go. But when the arrow flies, you have to let it fly. You can't just run after the arrow and say like, nah, why you're not there yet? Or, like now you have to go like 180 degrees into the opposite direction. Like, no, that's bullshit. So share perhaps some thoughts around how to make the manifestation process easier, or how to let go of the doubts, or like something around that for the audience. Because for most people, it's still like, how do I do that? Like, what the heck? What is this even? Like, I just shall sit there and wait until it drops into my lap, or what? So let the manifestation queen out and share some gold nuggets.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I have a course that is teaching this in depth. So I'm just giving you the surface level right now, as we don't have time to share everything as well. So when you are interested to go in depth and want coaching on this, just contact me. And yeah, for manifestation, I developed a process, like a formula. And this formula is really easy to use. In each step of this formula, you can use your own method. And one of the things we start is really figuring out what your desire is. What is your desire? What's the thing you are really desiring? And then get a clear definition on it. That's something people say, okay, you do future writing, for example. Maybe you know this tool where you say a date in the future and then write in a diary entry from this place. For example, hello, lovely diary. Today is the 5th of November, 2026. And I'm so happy because my partner that I'm loving and cuddled me, and I gave a kiss for him, and I'm holding my belly because I'm pregnant, and I'm so happy because my assistant called me today and she said, wow, we have 5 people in our highest level mastermind that is giving us cash flow 300,000 euros. So that's what you write. That's, for example, one tool you can use for the first step to get really clear on your definition. Then there's the second place that we also talked about, is the acknowledgement of your thoughts, of your limits, of your blocks. So, to erase them. So we have the D, we have the A, the acknowledgement and the erosion. And then we have the doing as well, like tackling your things, like tackling really in the masculine way as well. And that's what you need to do in the mindset, in the energetic, but also in the physical, in the obvious part. So what I do is I'm using, okay, that's something maybe some of you would know, but I'm mentioning it here so you know something. I'm using the Tesla spiritual method. So it's 369. So we are using the the whole thing, the whole body. The obvious part, we are also tackling and thinking about the mindset and also about the energetics. So it's a whole thing, because we are complete. And when you tackle your doings, then it's important to let go. That's when the arrow flows. That's when you can't and you should not do anything. Like some people are ordering, and then right before the delivery is pushing the bell on your door, or right before to be in the same picture, right before the arrow hits the target, they are moving the target. They are saying, oh no, now I want something else. Because maybe they think, it's not happening. It takes so long. Was it too high, my goal? Was it too fancy? Am I allowed to do this? Is it okay to have it? Like all these things are coming up. And that's when you need to surrender. That's when you need to let go. And for this, I can recommend just lying in the grass, connecting with Mother Earth, blessing the universe to delivering it, and really say, hey, universe, I did anything. I tackled my stuff. I did the to-dos. I've done anything I need to do. And now it's your part. It's your turn. Some people are asking me, okay, when is the time to let go? Because, yeah, you can let go too early, but most of the time when you are thinking about, okay, what can I do else? I've done everything. Then that's the time where you need to let go. And then you say, okay, universe, it's your part. And then maybe when you're lying in the grass, to give it to the next level, you can play the music. I will tell you, Lydia, which one it is. There is a song I'm programming my mind with surrendering. It's about surrendering, and it's about trusting the flow of the earth and trusting the universe. And then when you have it, you can receive. You can have the ease, have the manifestation. And yeah, that's how you date the universe. You define, you acknowledge, you tackle, and you enjoy what you manifested. And as I'm a Swabian person, I developed this formula, and then I put it and something special in it, because in Swabian we also do, at the end of our words, we also do a L inside. So we minimize kind of. And that's why the formula is the datle.
It's what? Datle. That's datle. No, I love this. Yeah, the people from there, they always put le. Das Hütle. Schwäble. Yeah, so funny. Yeah, I really like that. And what's the name of the song?
I surrender to the flow of the earth.
That's the name of the song. Okay. People can find it. So, or not. If not, then just write Desirée a message.
We will put it in the show notes.
Let's do that. Great. That's a good idea. Okay. And my last question, my dear, today is, just any last thoughts, any last shifts, any last tips you want to share with the audience today?
Yeah. Don't make it too complicated. It's easier than you think, and it's okay to have it easy. Give yourself the permission and say to yourself, I'm allowed to have it easy because I'm here on earth and I decided on this way.
These are beautiful last words. Thank you, Desirée, for being with me here today and sharing your knowledge and wisdom with all of us today.
You're welcome.
Did you like this podcast episode? Then please share it with people who you know could benefit from it. Also, I would be super grateful if you could leave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It would mean such a lot to me. If you want to stay connected with me, Please join my Telegram channel for daily mini reminders around mindset, business growth, investing, and living life to the fullest. Or message me directly on Instagram or LinkedIn. You will find all the links in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode. Much love, Lydia.